Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to beautiful Valdez, Alaska. Isn't it stunning? I could just set up a tent right now and just look out at that view. Anyway, we are here. Used to fly from here quite a lot in the P3D days. It's a really nice place to start the flight. There's some beautiful scenery around here, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I am late to the party, really. I'm late to the Dauphin or Dolphin. As you can see, the winchman's already on his knees because someone told him that I have got very few, almost 0 hours on this particular type. Flown the Dauphin a little bit, but the Dolphin, apart from one quick test flight to prod around with the autopilot, haven't really done anything else with it, so nothing could possibly go wrong. But this is just going to be a nice relaxed flight. I'm not trying to teach anything, I'm not trying to sell you anything. Just jump on board and we're going to take a nice flight in the area, have a look at some of the scenery, and at the same time I'm going to get a bit of hands-on practice, build up my hours, and see how it goes, and hopefully the winchman will stop kneeling and praying soon. Anyway, enough of my waffle, let's get flying. Right, here we are, and straight away it's a little less round dial analog than the Dauphin. Lots of very interesting, yet still a little bit old school kind of instruments going on. Different, but not completely alien is the best way of describing it for me. But yeah, I am really excited about doing this flight. I love mountains, I love helicopters, I love beautiful scenery, and hopefully that's exactly what we're going to see today in the HH-65 Dolphin. And I will try and resist saying Dauphin because that's kind of what I've got used to saying. Anyway, let's jump outside. We'll do a quick walk around. This isn't going to be a completely by the book startup, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to save a bit of time for the video because I know whenever I do a full startup, there's always people complaining about how long it's taking to get in the air. But when I do that, that's kind of the point of it. Right, let's find the latch that's going to work. Which one is it? Is it going to be... I got rid of the old indicators because I think they look a bit unrealistic, but no, I wish I had it because I thought it was on this side. Maybe it's on the other side that we can do that. Anyway, let's have a walk around. Everything is looking good there. The fenestron is looking brilliant. I don't know what it is about the fenestron and a tail like that, but it just looks the business. It looks really nice, almost shark-like, isn't it? Really good. Okay, quick look round here. Everything's looking good. Let's see if I can get to the catch. There we go. Check for squirrels. Alaskan squirrels, of course, known for their viciousness and innate ability to find the beer and nuts. So we do have to make sure that we don't have any of those around. And let's just take a moment. I mean, the detail on this is blooming gorgeous, isn't it? Really is. Okay, everything else is looking fine. Undercarriage is looking fine, and I think we are ready to go. Okay, so let's do a start. As I say, this is going to be a bit clunky, but I will do my best. I haven't had the time to sit and pore through the manual and do all sorts of things yet. Let's have Jenny's on and alternators on. Lights have gone out. We've got fail on the Jennies at the moment, but that's probably because there's nothing really coming through, so that's absolutely understandable. We're not going to use external power. This is all looking okay. Check all the annunciators. All the annunciators are doing really well, so that's good. Quick check here. Yeah. Ooh. Come here. There we go. And that's all good. Happy with that. Happy with that. Happy with that. Okay, I'm going to turn on the avionics. There's a part of me saying don't do that until the engines start, but I think we can probably get away with that in this helicopter. GTNs are firing up. We're not going to be using that today. but good to have them working and functional, and if anything they're just a nice little bit of eye candy for us. Okay, so in this helicopter...
HTOS test OK.
Thank you. In this helicopter I don't believe we have fuel pumps like we do in the other one, but I will check the fuel quantity there, and that's looking all good. And we'll soon find when we try and start the helicopter if we have any issues with fuel. Quick check round here, that's all looking okay. We can start that up as and when we need to. What was I going to do? I just remembered I was going to do something. There we go, let's remove the pin from there, and we are all looking fine. Okay, the best bit, and I will try and shut up, we are going to start. So quick check up here, fuel cocks are open, the brake is off, rotor brake that is. I'm going to quickly, actually I've got a switch for this, let's try and do it the easy way rather than breaking our necks. There we go. Okay, let's have some lights on because we're going to start spinning things around. Leave those as they are. Happy with that. Quick look over here. Do I need to set anything here just yet? I don't think so. A little bit tempted to turn the horn off because that certainly is the horn of plenty and it makes a right old din, but we're going to leave that as it is for the time being. Okay, so start. That beep, by the way, is me knocking my stick, and if I do it again, there you see, and setting the limit off. And I had a bit of a job with this probably a couple of weeks ago in the I think it was the Dauphin, because the limit kept going off, and I realised it's because I hadn't tightened all the bolts on my desk mount for my stick, and there was ever so slight input, and it was setting it off. So there you go. Always tighten your bolts. Top tip. Right, shut up Rob, let's fire up the helicopter. So I reach over here, I have a switch on my Virpil Collective on my Hawk 60 grip, which is the engine starter, and then also I've got an axis bound on my Bravo to the lever here, to the throttle. Okay, so let us begin the fun. So we'll go engine 1 first, why the hell not? Gently increasing. What a beautiful noise, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful noise. Really rather cool. Okay, let's we can close the door now, I think. And you as well, Sunshine. Close your door. There we go. Oh, I love the sound of the engine spooling up. Right. Okay, let's go for engine 2. So, same again. Just find my switch. There it is. Fine, that's good. N1 is rising. Just keep an eye on it. Okay. All good. It's funny, you get so used to one set of instruments then you move over to another and it's slightly different, but Fuel pressure is good. We've got our hydraulic pressure. Everything is fine there. And our temperatures are green, so that is all good. Okay, and on the enunciator panel we've got nothing we need to worry about at the moment. That always gives you a warm fuzzy feeling. Right, let's have these on. I'll have the flight director coupling on, but we're not going to be using autopilot. This is very much kind of hands-on flying today. Let's remember to use that switch instead, so we can have pitot heat on. Not going to worry about any of those. That's all good. Don't need anti-icing today. We might do in a bit, but I'm not going to worry about that now. We will have the heat on because it's a little bit chilly up here. Not worried about lighting at this point. Let's have another quick look down. What have we got left on the enunciator panel? Parking brake is on. That's fine. That's because I've set it there. But apart from that, friends and neighbours, we are good to go. Okay, so first thing on the agenda, apart from me getting my map zoom correct so I can actually see what the hell I'm doing, I'm going to do a bit of wheel taxiing. Wheel taxiing? You know what I mean. Ground taxiing. Instead of hover taxiing. I'm so used to hover taxiing. Quick check of the physical controls, that's all good. Quick check, yeah, everything's working. Yeah, so used to doing that kind of taxiing rather than actually using the wheels. So this could be quite interesting, but I've turned the parking brake off. Our nose wheel steering is active. Yeah, we're good to go. Okay, so quick check, there is no traffic. I have got AI parking on, AI ground traffic on, but there's nothing here. But otherwise I'm not on multiplayer, I haven't got AI traffic, so we're good to go. Wind is coming from that direction there. It's only about 2 knots, so nothing to worry about. So I'm going to see, I even said it, hover taxi. We're going to ground taxi and turn over there and lift into wind. Okay, good to go. Right, let's just try a few things, just get a grip and get a feel for it. That's fine. The limit came on, which is absolutely fine, which is what it should do. So I'm just going to give it a tiny little bit of collective and see if we can start rolling forward. There we go. Gently does it. Check the brakes. Brakes working fine. That's good. Warm fuzzy feeling there. Let's not get carried away. Interesting little flashes we're getting on the ground there. I've not seen that before. I wonder if that was just some kind of weird mesh thing going on. It does seem like quite a bumpy... Oh, okay. It's some kind of rotor. Maybe it's dust, maybe because I've got a bit of collective on it. Some kind of... maybe like dust animation, perhaps. Very bumpy taxiway, isn't it? See how much we are moving around. But yeah, interesting. It's not too difficult. It's certainly easier to ground taxi this than the H160 from memory. The H160, was it the H160 or was it something else? I remember there was one helicopter, maybe it wasn't the H160, but that was very leany. Or maybe it was just that I wasn't very good at it. There we go. Okay, so that's enough of driving in a straight line. Quick check around. Let's do some flying. So get me in a position where I'm comfortable. Center the head tracking. I've got the trim release on. And let's go. So applying the power. From memory, what was it? We need a little bit of right pedal and a little bit of cyclic right. A little bit of stick aft. Quick hover check. Nothing coming up, nothing to worry about. Let's go. Gear up. Super. Oh, I love flying helicopters, in case you didn't know. If you're new to the channel, by the way, I do a lot of HEMS search and rescue in the H145 using the Random and Anywhere mod. So you'll see, and a lot of that is live stream stuff. We do have a Discord, so have a look at that, check that out. The link is down below, and if ever you want to fly along, quite often that's kind of open multiplayer, so if people want to come for a magical mystery tour, then they can do.
Caution. Warning. Terrain. Terrain.
Now.
Warning. Terrain. Terrain. Caution.
Goodbye. We're in a helicopter, we're in lumpy bumpy ground, we're going to get a lot of caution terrain, so let's turn that off. I can see with my eyes where the terrain is, so we don't need to worry about that too much. I love getting to know a new helicopter. So much of it is just basic handling and understanding how it behaves and being able to anticipate it and making it muscle memory. So there's a hospital just over here. I wanted to have a quick look and see if there's a landing pad and see if it's an opportunity to get a quick landing practice in. If you don't mind, if you would indulge me, there's the landing gear warning going on. I guess that's the maybe that turns off. What's that? Horn. Just looking to see if there's additional gear horn warning switch that we can use, but maybe it's that one. Generally, he who turns the horns off is a little overconfident, so I try and keep the horns on. No sniggering at the back, but it can get a bit noisy, and I'm trying to keep my mouth shut as much as I can so you can just hear the gorgeous sounds of this helicopter. Right, we should have a helipad around here somewhere, I think. The HEMS pilot in me is wanting to land at a hospital. So according to the mappage, we should have a helipad round here, but I suspect that we have some autogen over it. I suspect it's under there somewhere. Let's have a quick zooming in the map. Okay, now I've zoomed in the map, I've got a better idea. So if I just slide over here a little bit. Yeah, you can hardly, there's not enough detail in the scenery really to be able to see it, but it's actually a square just there. Not brilliant, but hey ho, we'll have a go. Okay, quick check of our speed. Our speed is not a great deal, which is good. Wind is coming from that direction, so I'm going to come back round. I'm going to drop the gear now. If anything, just to shut it up. It's always interesting when you're doing low and slow over water like that, trying to keep your bearings in terms of what the helicopter's actually doing. You don't have so much of a cues from the ground as to the movement, so I'm just gently bringing it round. It's over here, but it doesn't look very flat, does it? Just shoot it up here a little bit. Let's try here. I think this is going to be in a bit of a slope, but there we go. That's near bad. It's certainly better than I thought it was going to be, but definitely not a nice, pretty helicopter helipad for us to land on. Right, let's have a quick check of the map so I can zoom out a bit now and then I can see what we're doing. Okay, brilliant, that's fine. Right, let's lift again. Quick hover check, all good. We will lift over the buildings here, pick up some transitional lift. Gear up. There's actually, just out of interest, there's meant to be another helipad here. We're not going to land on it, but I just want to check it out just for future use. See if it's a little bit more obvious in the autogen. Yeah, not really. Really. Fair enough. Okay, let's get on our way. Down at the engine instruments just to make sure that everything's okay. Landing gear horn going off again. Do love that extra detail with 2024 with the rocks on the shore there. I think it's something I say an awful lot, and at the risk of boring you, if you're a regular, love the freedom of flying helicopters in the sim. It really is. You can just explore the world, go anywhere you want to do. And it's always interesting when I'm flying, my mouth doesn't always connect Go anywhere you want to do. What kind of English is that, sunshine? Go anywhere you want to go. You know what I mean. This is actually a great place, thinking about it, great place to do some practice, because you've got like these little areas in the trees where you can practice your practice landing in tiny areas. Okay, let's head up to the glacier. Although I don't think we're going to see much of a glacier today. We'll see. Sometimes Asobo, it is August, and sometimes Asobo can do funny things with scenery, depending on the season. I must have a look and find out if there's a way of silencing the gear horn. There probably is somewhere. Maybe it's just that switch up there, because that is a little bit irritating when you're doing this kind of flying, where you're doing a lot of low, slow kind of stuff. Okay, so let's now, I'm just having a bit of a play here. Just getting into level flight. Release. So I'm completely hands off now, just seeing how the helicopter behaves. We have, should have the beep trim if I've got everything set up. Yeah, we have the beep trim, so that's working nicely. Center that back. Yeah, all working nice and stable. We haven't got a route plumbed in here, so I'm not going to play with any of the other things, but yeah, I kind of like this helicopter. I like the Dauphin, especially because it has the some Army Air Corps helicopters in there, in the liveries. Loads of liveries with this, by the way. Really good collection of liveries. But I do like the additional functionality of this, and I kind of like the cockpit as well. I like the instrument display. So let's just bring that back. That's all good. Okay, so I'm going to take control again. So trim release held in, and I am now wafting the stick around. Let's go and have a little look at this glacier, which doesn't look very glacier-ish today. Looks very muddy-ish. But this is the Valdez Glacier Lake. I think that's possibly why it's more of a muddy colour at this stage. And of course, with the time of year, it's not snowy down here. Just pulling a bit more pitch. That's going to go off all the time, isn't it? Right, just releasing that. Let's have a quick look up top. I am going to turn the... what do we got? Let's have the horn off. We've got our amber now to say that we turn the horn off. This is the point at which someone in the comments is saying, you don't turn it off there, you turn it off here. But it's a lovely helicopter to fly, I have to say. It's not seat of the pants in the way that the H500 is. H500 and the Huey are probably my favourite Taog's Hangar helicopters. But it's a nice kind of... someone put it very nicely. I think it was Guy in the Discord, Eugenator. He said... this is a nice kind of cross between the old school analogues and the more modern helicopter. know, if you compare it to something like the H145 or the H160 with the Helionics avionics system, this is kind of an in-between. Oh no, that doesn't turn off the gear horn. I must research that. There's probably a simple switch somewhere that I've missed because I've been dicking around. There doesn't seem to be anything down by the gear switches. Okay, let's pick up some speed, get a wiggle on. Wow, a little bit of turbulence there, I think. I'm still holding the trim release on so that I can hand fly. But this is the glacier proper now. I don't think we'd have trees at this point. Just get down close to the glacier, and if that, just bear with me with that blooming gear horn because I know it's going to go off. Oh, the rotor sounds beautiful. Just learning where the cyclic is, sorry, the collective is in terms of coming into a hover like this. So I had to pour on some cyclic, gently of course, coming into the hover there, and then just raise the cyclic a little bit higher, sorry, collective a little bit higher than I was expecting to, just to maintain it. But wow, it is a beautiful helicopter. Okay. Enough of that messing about, lad. That'll be good practice for winching. As I said before, I'm a huge fan of the Random and Anywhere mod for the H145, but I think I will have to give the old Milvi's mission. Well, that is irritating, isn't it? The old Milvi's mission thing a go again for this. I know people keep saying it. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any way of doing it. But if Davi Aerosoft was ever able to do Random and Anywhere for this helicopter, it would be an absolute treat. But of course, a lot of Random and Anywhere is built from the way the H145 is coded. But that is a good mod. If you've got the H145 in the action pack and you've never used Random and Anywhere, give it a go. It really is incredible. I'll stop talking about it now. Still looking to see if there's any kind of switch to turn off the gear horn. So let me know in the comments, what helicopter are you flying at the moment and what are you enjoying about it? Always interested to know. We are lucky that there are a really good bunch of helicopters in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. There's always someone that chimes in on the comments saying how much they hate helicopters in this sim compared to DCS. I really haven't done much with helicopters in DCS. I have got the Apache, I have got the Huey. Don't really fly them, if I'm honest, because I'm not really in a shooty sims phase at the moment. But I know that there are real-world helicopter pilots that enjoy helicopters in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, so it can't be all that bad. It's an impressive old glacier, this, isn't it? got the nose down to pick up some speed. Ah, that's interesting. Now this happened the other day. We were on a group flight and it was flying over sloped terrain like this, and all of a sudden the nose would pop up, and I'm holding in the trim release, so I know it's not that. Just keep an eye on the speed. Pulling some pitch and pointing the nose down. Conscious that I was flying rather slowly there. Look at that view. Stunning. Can't beat flying in the mountains. So we're going to hop over the top here. So let's have the nose back a bit, pull some pitch, check the instruments. I am going to very quickly turn the horn of plenty back on, seeing as that didn't do anything for the gear. Lifting at the top here. Drawn to have a look up here, so let's do that. It wasn't on the plan, but we'll have a look. Got a good climb in. Engines are fine. Gentle turn. Wow, detail up here is quite nice. I think that's kind of why I was drawn to it. Coming up to the peak, quick check, instruments, all is good. I don't think there's going to be anything on here to land on, but we'll have a sneaky peek anyway. Pardon the pun. Ha ha ha. That wasn't funny at all, was it? Quite low quality, really. Low quality punnage for you. Sometimes it's quite deceptive though, because you come up to something like this and it looks very small, but actually closer up it's quite large. Let's dangle the Dunlops. Wind is coming from behind us, so I'm not going to land in this direction, but we can have a quick recce. That ridge there looks quite handy for this. It does look very thin though. Trying to keep my visual reference with the ground. Is that a hut? Let's have a look. No. Okay, lost. Not a great position to be in. I can hardly see a thing. Okay, we got some turbulence there. Let's get out of this. We picked up some turbulence there, and the aircraft started behaving very strangely. So we don't mess around with that. We saw the torque meter come on. So let's have another look. There's the turbulence again. Wow! That was like a big hand just grabbed the helicopter and yanked it over. again and have another look. This is why flights like this are all about practice, because it really is just getting into the swing of it. There is very, very little room to play with up there. Coming in too hot, really. Should have set that up a little bit nicer. Got the same problem, very little visibility of where I'm coming in on. Very little visibility. There's that turbulence again. Suddenly spinning the helicopter this time. This is tiny. We're down and I'm lifting off straight away. We touched down and I could tell that the helicopter was about to go sliding off the edge there. So enough of that shenanigans. But interesting. Like I say, it's good practice. Had a couple of RPM warnings there, which no doubt there will already be people furiously typing in the chat. Oh, you do realise you are... Yes, I do realise. Turbulence again. Wow. Wow. Alright, hold on, hold on, hold on. It's funny, it's like you're flying along smoothly and all of a sudden a hand grabs it. Okay. Nice and gentle now. You have to do that sort of thing to find out how the helicopter behaves and where the limits are. But interesting behaviour coming in there with the turbulence. You think you've got the helicopter nicely set up on an approach, and then all of a sudden it starts doing all sorts of wonderful things. Isn't it beautiful up here? Wow. Just checking my gear is up. Yes, it is. Speed on. There's that. There it is again. Nose starting to come up. As we come up to this higher ground, the nose is starting to come up, and I'm having to fight it by pushing the stick forward. This is exactly what we were seeing the other day on the live stream. Just need to be very careful of that. See if it does it again coming up to this high ground here. So just flying nice and stable. I've got the trim release on because I'm hand flying using the cyclic. Is it going to do it? Not this time. Being very careful because we are quite close to the mountains, and if it suddenly does wig out, then we're going to feel it. Nothing quite like flying in icy, snowy mountains on a hot day. Hot day in real world, I mean. Right, here we go. So it did it then. There it is. we're approaching this ridge here. I felt it suddenly, the hand of doom grip. So now, coming over the top, we're going to come down here. Got a few huts going on. I suspect that they are not here in real life on the glacier, but for some reason the autogen has populated it, and we can see we're coming down below the line of the glacier now. Let's watch the speed. This is one of those occasions where you can very easily overspeed because you're getting carried away following the terrain. Shut up, gear. Oh, there we go. Oh. Turbulence there, just coming to the edge of that glacier. Suddenly the hand gripped it. Like I say, I'm holding the trim release in all the time, so that's not the trim doing something funny. The only thing I can think of, and I don't know if this helicopter has got it, is I wonder if that's some kind of autopilot function where if it thinks you're about to fly into the ground, it suddenly, or if the gradient to the ground is coming up steeply all of a sudden, it pulls the nose up maybe. I'm not sure. Coming down into the green now. I'm almost deliberately trying to see if it will set off the turbulence thing again. Turbulence is the description I'm using, but it's kind of probably more like an updraft or something like that. But it is literally like a hand suddenly grabs the helicopter and decides that it wants to kill you. So coming down into a more populated... Oh, there we go. We picked it. Ah, right. Let's have a look and see what was there. Because you can see it suddenly bit. So what kind of terrain have we got there? I wonder if it's the thermal activity. So it was just as we came over that there, which is nothing in particular, is it? See if I can repeat it again. Checking the map. If I look at the map, then I can. I'm using the little nav map, which has got my track on it, so I can try and fly along the same area. Okay, let's hoik it round. Round about here, I think. There it is. There it is. It was a little bit more gentle this time, but it's suddenly nudged the nose up. Interesting. Okay. And there, just as we came over. Do you know what? I think it might be thermal. Whoa, some kind of thermal activity. It's almost like as we come over the lighter coloured ground, the sim is saying, right, we'll have a thermal here. Let's have another look. So, flying nice and steady. but not that time. Fair enough. Certainly keeps you on your toes because you know that you can't just waft it around without fear of consequence. There we go. Right, bang, just there, just there. Just on that area there. Let's have a, just if we came over here, let's have a look. There it is again. So I'm having, because I'm anticipating it, I'm fighting it with a bit of nose down. Okay, let's come back round. Lovely sounds. Okay, let's go take a look at the river. Okay, we fighting it a little bit there. Did find in the Dauphin that flying in the SAS stability mode felt a little bit better, so but I've got the trim release held on, so that shouldn't be, I shouldn't be having to fight the helicopters too much, which is what makes me think it's more to do with atmospherics than anything else, but interesting nonetheless. Particularly 100% comfortable with the helicopter yet to be doing silly flying like this, but especially when it has a tendency sometimes for turbulence to do odd things, but nice little area there. Such a joy just being able to waft around like this and check out the scenery, look for interesting things. And hear those sounds. Really is no kind of civilization out in this area. Where's the wind coming from over there? Let's have a landing practice. Gear down. Where was that? Was it over there? Yeah. It's funny, one of the things I haven't got dialed in 100% yet is the putting the anchors on. Muscle memory, familiarization, whatever you want to call it, but doing a tight turn and suddenly putting the anchors on, I'm not quite there yet with knowing where the helicopter is. Right, let's watch the trees. Don't want to prang the tail. We haven't got a crew that are telling us what to do, so just drifting it over here a little bit more, a little bit of turbulence there. Being pulled around a little bit. Rest that drift, and we're down. Brakes on. Hokey cokey. Let's just pop the parking brake on a second so we don't have anything embarrassing happening. Okay, so we're going to lift. Wind is more from that direction there. Plenty of trees around here, so need to be careful of that. So I'm going to lift. I'm just going to drift over to the left a little bit and then point into wind, and then we can get on our way. That is the plan. Right, let's have the parking brake off, holding the brakes under with my feet. Let's have some collective. Let's just drift over this way a bit, get away from the trees. Keep a nice lift in, quick hover check, all good. Gently, gently, gently. Gear up. There goes the horn of plenty. Steady. Looking good. Of course, we don't have a gear warning light problem with helicopters with skids. Quite surprised, but shouldn't be really, that we've seen no real kind of signs of habitation. I don't know, maybe it's from flying around Scotland so much, but you almost expect to see some kind of little hunting lodge or something up here. Some hidden feature. Whoa. That turbulence, you see the nose coming up and I'm fighting it with the stick, and then suddenly it disappears, and because I've got a bit, whoa, whoa, whoa. So that's just over there. That surely that must be some kind of thermal activity. Do you think? Just as I was coming over that sand there, it suddenly starts fighting. Interesting. And I know it's not just me, because someone flying with me the other day was getting it at the same places that I was. So I'm just guessing that Taog has got some really realistic kind of turbulence or the way the airflow acts on the aircraft, like with updrafts or thermals, I'm not sure. It's doing it again now. I think we just flew over and again. Okay, I'm going to aim for that light patch there. See what it does. So, everything's... No, did it again. Whoa. Jeez. Missed the light patch because I'm still recovering from having to rescue it the last time. Let's try this one. Nothing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. See if it catches now. No. Deliberately trying to trigger it, really. Whoa, there it went. Whoa! Good God. What was that about? See how much we climbed? Wow. Wow. Try an experiment. If I was to suddenly release the trim release now, what would happen? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not the same. Not the same. So it's not a dodgy switch on my joystick. Must be some weird MSFS atmospherics. I've got my turbulence set to medium, because the realistic was playing strange games with the Spitfire. Up here, still looking for somewhere like a nice little hut. Nothing down there. The wilderness of Alaska. It's such a pretty helicopter though, isn't it? Really is. it is. Just grabbed us a little bit then as we came out over the water a little bit more. It's a strange feeling because it's a very, how can I say, it's a very digital feeling. It's not like a gradual force that you're dealing with. It's like all of a sudden force is on, force is off, force is on, force is off. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of feel. And I don't see it in other helicopters, so it's either something that is newly coded into this one. Maybe it is, I don't know. I've never flown this type in real life, so maybe it's more part of the behaviour of the Dolphin or Dauphin. My eyes are drawn to that beach. But there ain't much there, is there? There it goes again. So nose, whoa, nose was suddenly pulled up. So I had to push the stick forward, and then all of a sudden the force disappears. So of course the nose suddenly goes down because I've got the nose cyclic. But then there it is again, nose coming up. Next time it does it, I'm going to just release the trim release and see what the helicopter does. See what the helicopter trim stability system does. If it doesn't kill us. There's a nice beach. There it is, right, releasing. Okay, that's interesting. So I guess the helicopter's just holding it now. If I take back control, so the helicopter must be automatically compensating for it maybe. Look at that blue water down there. Nice. Careful. If it suddenly does that nose up shenanigans. I should say, by the way, I should have said this at the start, I have got the control set up on the tablet for a stick with a spring, because that's what I've got, and I've got fly-through mode on as well, I think. Pretty sure I have. Yeah, because it's on by default, isn't it? And that's where I've got it. But all the time those bumps are happening, I'm holding on the trim release. So I know it's not, or I shouldn't be, fighting the helicopter. Must be turbulence. Must be some weird atmospheric thing that is happening from time to time. Beautiful. Did it then? There we go. Nose came up. And again. And now nose. Actually, that time that wasn't me pointing the nose down, but it suddenly nose dropped. And nose. Whoa, look at that. Nose pushed up again. Very odd. fine water going on there, but nonetheless it's quite beautiful. Cool blue waters, freezing cold blue waters more like, I would imagine. Going skinny dipping in that and you're a brave sausage. Hop over the ridge here, or say a ridge, a bit more than a ridge. There's that thing again, look at that, wow. You actually heard the helicopter shake when it took then, when it hit. Nose down, applying a bit more collective. Hopefully up at the top here we should, as we summit it, we should see some nice views out to the distance. We're going to come into Copper Centre and then we will land there and go and get a brew. Which to us English of course means a cup of tea. If anyone thinks, oh well, it's not very unrealistic that the US Coast Guard will go and get a beer while they're still flying. We're coming up to a lighter patch. Will we get the hand of death? No. Yeah, I just can't predict it. Can't predict it. Just comes out of nowhere and wallop. It's nothing to do with head tracking either. Makes no difference. Maybe I'm thinking about it too much. Maybe it is just some weird turbulence kind of thing going on. So I just let go of the trim release there. That's alright. I've seen on the Discord that it's natural to sometimes get a jolt. Going back on the controls again. As we are approaching Copper Centre. I just want to have a quick recce because it's one thing seeing it on the map but actually seeing it in the flesh is a different matter. Let's come over and have a look at the The little tiny town that it is. See what we got. There's a wilderness lodge here, perfect. There he goes, nose suddenly lifting. Naughty nose. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Oh, a lot of turbulence here. Wow. Nice little settlement, isn't it? Nestled up here. Nose again. There's our runway. Gear now. We're down. So we'll just do a little bit of driving. Let's poke it in the trees here. Technical term for you there. There we go, that'll do. Right, let's have the parking brake on, please. Everything is fine here. We've got the parking brake light on there. That was on there because of that, so I'm happy with that. Let's pop upstairs. We can have the... what did I remember what I switched on? We can have pitot heat off. Leave the horn of plenty on for the time being because it just loves to go off. Where is the... that's off. That's off. Off. Okay, let's close the engines down, shall we? Definitely have the horn of plenty off, please. There we go. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the flight. It was certainly a nice little training flight for me. Certainly interesting getting used to that turbulence effect. Trying to anticipate it isn't always easy, it seems. But yeah, it's definitely different. But it's a beautiful helicopter. Beautiful scenery. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.